I'm not harassing you.
Why would you think I'm harassing you?
Are you recording me now?
Yes, I was recording when you walked up to me. Well, I'm not here to harass anyone. I'm just shooting a little video.
It appears that you're harassing us.
In what way?
You cause concern.
But
it's suspicious. It's not normal. What you're doing isn't normal. It's not regular. It isn't what people normally do to others that are their friends.
What do you mean? I think I am your friend. I think I'm a friend of Scientologists. I think I'm trying to help you. I do. I really do.
It's time for you to go away.
No, I can't. I can't go away.
You're trespassing.
I wish I could. No, I'm not. I'm on a public sidewalk. How am I trespassing?
It's time for you to go away. I consider you're harassing me personally.
You walked up to me. How am I harassing you?
You're filming inside here.
I'm filming what's on display from the street. Look, that's all I'm doing, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just want to say, okay, here's what happens in an ideal org. You've got all of these video displays. People can come in and ask a question about Scientology, and you'll show them about the way to happiness. How is that harassing you? How is that doing anything other than saying this is what happens in an ideal org?
Because it's your intention, Mark.
What's my intention? What do you think my intention is?
It's your intention to harass.
But you're wrong about that. My intention is not to harass. My intention is simply to impart facts. That's all.
It's to create upset and harass people that are trying to enjoy Sunday at their church.
Well,
and that's what it is.
But I'm not harassing anyone. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'd be happy. The smart thing for Scientology to do would be to simply say, why don't you come in, take a look around. That would be the smart thing to do. The smart thing would have been yesterday just saying, why not let them film the event? What's it going to hurt to film the event? It's out here in the open. It's a public event. Instead of, chasing me all over and making a big to-do about it, I'm just videotaping an event. I mean, really, what?
It's time for you to go away.
All right. Well, I'm sorry you feel that
way. You're not welcome here. It's time for you to go home.
Well, I can't, actually. I have an appointment.
Somebody's paying you and you've got to do a number of hours or something on this to get your pay, or what is it?
Really? You think that's what's happening? Really? You think that?
I do. I think
Who do you think is paying me?
I don't know.
But you've been told that a suppressive person would
That's what I think. I think you're being paid.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
I do.
It'd be nice of them.
I think they paid your way up here, and I think they're paying you to do this.
No. Not true. But, I'd be happy at any time to sit down and talk with you folks. And if David Miscavige is still here, I've asked him officially for an interview several times. I would be happy to do an interview with him. Yeah. Well, it'd be a smart thing to do, though. I mean, instead of this nonsense. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that I'm doing that's at all harassment.
You have done nothing but joke and degrade my religion.
I think joking and degrading is a good thing.
And belittled my religion and brought it up for ridicule. And I think that
I would argue that Scientology has done that.
Why are you here? Why don't you go?
Because I actually have an appointment in half an hour or so. So I have to be down here for a little bit. But in the meantime,
you have to be down here for a little bit?
I have to be down here for a little bit.
On the clock, getting paid?
No, not being paid. No, not at all. But I have an appointment to meet some folks down here. So I'll be around for a little bit. But then after that, I'll be gone. And really, no harm will be done. So, everything will be fine. Don't need to panic. All I'm doing is say, for instance, I like to talk about the fact that the ideal orgs are funded by parishioners, right? Parishioners raise the money to buy the buildings. parishioners raised the money to renovate the buildings. A lot of staff members put in a lot of hours to renovate the buildings. And then the deed...
We don't work on the building.
Oh, you don't? I thought there were some Sea Org members who did renovations along with contractors. Aren't there any staff that do renovations at all?
No, like they're the ones who would help, put up the books.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm mistaken about that, and I appreciate you...
not put the carpet in or... Right.
Yeah.
You understand?
I know there are people in Scientology who are skilled at doing these things. Like in Clearwater, you've got an entire woodworking place where they build furniture for the orgs, things like that. So I know that there are people who have, do that type of work. Okay. So that's what I'm referring to. Anyway, the parishioners buy the building, renovate the building, and then you turn the deed over to the Church of Scientology, right?
No.
And then the mother church, whatever, CSI or whatever it is.
No, it's
this
my
is
building.
my understanding.
That's my building.
Is your building?
It's my building.
What's your name? My name is Mark Bunker. I mean, what's wrong with knowing your name?
Do either of you know where Mama Mia's restaurant is?
Yes.
Are we close?
You're close, but you need to go down a block.
Okay.
And then down 2 blocks. It's on Alder.
Oh, I have this.
It's on Alder. So Alder's 2 blocks that way.
Okay.
So you could go this way 2 blocks.
2 blocks and then left.
Yeah.
Alder and Second.
It's right on the corner.
Okay. All right.
Right on the corner.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Well, see, it's good that we talk.
No, we don't.
Because it's good that we talk, because it's my understanding that once the buildings are purchased, that the properties are actually turned over to the official Church of Scientology organization, and then you folks have to pay rent or something like that. So that is not the case?
Where did you hear that? No, you tell me. You tell me. You tell me where you heard that.
I'm hearing that from former officials of the church and other news reports that have been out there from news organizations. And if I'm wrong, you should tell me that. That's why it's good for us to talk.
Never. That's not what's happening. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen? No. It hasn't happened? It won't happen? Ever?
Ever? Not here. It won't happen here
really?
Or anyplace else. I mean, the local church, the local church, the Church of Scientology of Portland, is a corporation registered with the state of Oregon.
Okay.
And that corporation raises the funds, buys the building.
Okay.
That corporation raises the funds and renovates the building. That makes it our building. It doesn't go to anybody else. Doesn't get signed over to anybody else.
All right.
That makes it our building.
Very good.
And that's what makes the joy of a grand opening so tremendous. I mean, honestly.
Now, let me ask you this, because yesterday I was here for the event, and I saw that the street was blocked off, and the side streets were pretty much empty. And yet today on the Freedom website, Scientology posted a picture of the event, and they photoshopped it so that it looked like there were teeming crowds circling the block. Why would Scientology do something like that?
I haven't heard of that, and I haven't seen anything like that.
Well, it's funny because I've seen it on a Scientology website.
I can't help you. I can't talk about stuff.
Yeah, but I can help you. I can help you by saying, why don't you go and take a look at that, and then ask yourself, why does Scientology need to do that? Can't they just say we had 400 people here and it was a terrific event, instead of having to Photoshop thousands of people and say that there were several thousands of people?
Mark Bunker, you're full of prunes. That is what I know about you, is you are a man full of prunes, up to here.
Really?
Prunes, dude.
Prunes are good.
Complete prunes.
I wish I was full of prunes.
I would have, if I wasn't a minister of the Church of Scientology, I would use something more like fecal matter, up to here.
I'm a nice fellow.
You know, I'm telling you now.
And you seem like a very nice lady. And I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm just curious about these questions, and I think it's an important question to ask, because
I think
Scientology is photoshopping an unrealistic
you're making it
view.
up.
I'm not making that up.
No.
Go to the Freedom website.
There was
Take a look.
There was thousands of people here yesterday.
There may have been, but they're not on my video. They're not on the cameras from anybody else except for Scientology. But isn't
what
it?
are you doing up on the roof over there?
I asked permission, and they,
Up on the roof?
the bartender said I could
This
go
must
up
be
there.
the biggest game in town. Church of Scientology of Portland is a big game. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's one of the rare chances I'd have to actually see David Miscavige and get a little video of David Miscavige, so it was worth coming up here. These are big events. He opens a new ideal org. Don't you think that's a big event?
It's a very big event.
Well, there you go.
It's a very
So,
big event. For
I'm just here to
us-
document that. It's a big event for a lot of people.
You're here
It's
to
a-
make fun of us and harass
not
as
true.
much as possible.
That's not true.
To
It's
create upset and concern and worry on the part of people like myself. That's
Really?
the whole game.
Are you
Bart.
concerned and worried, really?
I actually am.
Why?
I really am.
Don't I
Because-
seem like a nice
No,
person?
Because what happens with what you do and what you post creates worry and upset to other people as well. And it creates an environment of harassment. And that's what you do. You're trying to create an environment of harassment, and
No.
it's what you're doing.
It's not true.
It is truly what's happening. Okay?
All right. This is a case of what's true for you is true, but it's not really true.
This is what's true for me. You're right, but it is what's true. It's what I see. It's what others
It's
see
what you
and
see,
and
but is it
relate to me
reality?
as well. It is what's real.
It's not real, though. It's not. I mean, you
Mark,
have this.
the prunes are running out your ears.
Really?
It's just you're so full. You're sloshing as you walk. You're so full of prunes. It's you, dude. You're full of prunes.
We're having fun. But I think
I'm
I think it's an important point to make that Scientology is lying about the number of people here. Why? Why do they have to lie
It's
about
not
that?
lying, and you're full of it.
Wait a minute, why is
And
that
you just,
not lying?
No,
when you Photoshop
it is.
extra
It's just
people,
that yellow journalism crap. That's what it is. It's taking something that's true, altering it, making fun of it, joking, degrading it, and then putting that up and saying this is what's going on, and I was there.
All right, I'll give you this point. I am joking and degrading about the fact that Scientology is taking what's real and altering it. That's what I'm joking and degrading
I
about.
think you're a religious bigot.
I'm saying the number of people that you had here yesterday to fill up this block was nice. I was happy to see people here and enjoying the event. I mean, they traveled from all over, and that's nice. Nothing against that. I have nothing against those people. But why Scientology would then have to doctor a photo to make it look like there were more people here? Why? Will you do this for me? Will you go on the web and look at the Freedom website and look at that picture and see for yourself that it was doctored? Would you do that? Would you? I mean, that's not
I will go to the Freedom website and I will
Okay.
look at it.
All right.
Am I going to call you on the phone?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't need you to do that. But I need to make an important point to you that I'm not lying about that. I'm just suggesting that Scientology doesn't need to lie about it. Scientology should just say, we had a terrific event. 400 or 500 people were here and it was wonderful. We love our new org. But why do you have to make it something other than what it was? Why do you have to make me something other than what I am?
And from now on, you'll be known as Mark Prunes Bunker.
Well, to you, and I'm, listen, I've been called worse than that, so that's, if that's the worst, I'd be okay with
It's
that.
just bad. It's
Mark
just bad.
Prunes Bunker is
Mark
fine.
Prunes Bunker. There you go.
Let's have
Okay?
some T-shirts made up.
We could. All right.
Yeah,
So when do you go home, Mark? Because you live in San Diego now,
I do.
right? You do.
How do you know that?
Well, you came into my church
Yeah.
about a year or so ago when I'd gone off to visit
Right.
my uncle who was having cancer surgery. He says, you could come and visit me now.
Well, I didn't particularly do it because of your
Anyway,
uncle.
so I'm out of town, and you walk into the church and you give the receptionist the impression that you are a parishioner in good standing, and you take off.
I never said
running
that.
around the org, took pictures of yourself in the org, and instantly posted it up on the internet.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's called harassment.
I didn't harass a single person.
That is called
It was
harassment.
open to the public. I went in.
That is complete
Just like
harassment.
in the Tampa Ideal Org,
It is not.
I came
it is
in,
not-
I gave my name, I signed my name into the guest book. I asked, could I take some pictures? They said, absolutely, go ahead, and I did. And I didn't harass anyone.
So
I just
when you
took some
leave,
pictures.
when do you leave to go back to San Diego?
Well, I'm sure you know that I'm from Scientology. You know I'm from San Diego, rather. I'm sure that you can find out my flight schedule.
You've got some other stuff to do, and I don't actually know how to do that. So
All right.
you're going to go home.
Yeah, I'll be going home.
Okay, tonight?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, unless they can pay you a little bit more.
You know,
Unless they
the
pay you a little
important
bit more.
point is not what I'm going. It's the fact that we're having a nice conversation. I think that's good. I think we should talk more. I'm always open to talking to any Scientologist at any time.
Well,
I mean,
that makes sense.
have I said anything that has been nasty or?
Let me tell you, with your camera out
Yeah.
here, the reason why it came out is because you were actually scaring and worrying at my parishioners and my staff. They
Why?
did not
There's
know.
just a guy with a
They didn't
camera.
know who you were. First of all, they
What?
didn't know
Oh.
it was Mark. They didn't get on the phone and say Mark Bunker's dead. They're like, oh my gosh, what's happening down here? Why would this person do this?
You don't think anyone would ever take a picture of your ideal org?
And recording what people were saying and stuff. Were you
I
recording?
wasn't recording what anybody was saying until you walked up to me.
Did they know you were recording them? Because in the state of Oregon, you got to be, pretty upfront about what you're doing with that stuff.
you really?
Legally. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, honest.
You think you might want to press charges on? Because I didn't record anybody's conversations.
No.
I was just shooting B-roll of the door, of the windows.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
Anyway, I'm sorry this has turned into some sort of aggressive thing because I don't feel that way at all. And I appreciate you talking to me on camera here. It's very nice of you.
Okay.
But I am not here to upset anyone.
But you did.
Well, but
But
that's
and
not
you're
my
smiling.
fault.
I tell you that you
But
did, and
that's
then
not
you
my
smile.
fault, though. That's not my fault that people get worked up because you've been told that I'm a
on
suppressive
purpose.
person, that
You do it
I'm
on
this,
purpose.
I'm that,
We
and
know
it's
what your
silly.
intentions are. We know what your intentions
What are my
are.
intentions?
To upset and worry people.
No.
That was what your intentions are.
Not at all.
That's what. That's
My
what you're
entire
doing.
intention of coming up here was simply to shoot some video of David Miscavige speaking. That's all.
Well,
Get
that-
some footage of the new Ideal Org and
Yeah.
explain what the Ideal Org is all about. That's
Yeah,
all.
well, that party's over. Okay, time to go.
All right. Well, I will be around for a little bit yet, but then I'll be out of here.
So you're leaving soon.
Soon. Yeah, it'll be soon.
All right.
Yeah. And in the meantime, just tell everybody, don't worry. Well, it's nothing to worry about.
No, I understand. Oh, okay. I see.
Anyway.
Well, did you go into the Silverado? It's a nice place. That's how you got on the roof?
Yeah.
Tommy's
Yeah.
great.
Who's great?
Tommy.
Tommy?
Yeah, he's great. We got good neighbors.
Good.
They're wonderful.
Good.
They're all wonderful people.
I
We're
have
here.
to say,
We're very excited about being in the neighborhood. It's going to be a great partnership
it's good.
being down here.
I have to say, I have heard some complaints from the neighbors, but we won't go into that now.
That's just a generality.
All right. But isn't it a generality that the neighbors are great? That
No, the ones that I've met
they're-
are very good people.
Well, there you go.
All the ones
and
I've
the
met.
ones I've met are have some upset with Scientology. I don't know if those are both generalities, but it seems like they would be.
The ones I met are very good people. We're very happy to
I'm
be
sure
here.
they are, and I'm sure you're very nice people too. And I have met only I think one Scientologist in my.
Do you get
14
paid
years
by
of
the
doing this.
minute of film or by the hours that you spend at a place?
I
Oh,
wish.
come on, just answer.
wish.
Paid by the word, paid by the minute,
Or you
paid
think
by
it's
the
the evil
hour.
psychs who are paying for it, the pharmaceutical
I don't know.
companies, the German government? Who do you think is paying?
I don't know, but I think you're paid.
Really?
Otherwise, how would you live? How would you eat? How would you pay your rent? You have to make money
Yeah.
unless you've figured out a way to Tell me, if you figured out a way to live without getting paid, I am ready to hear that story. Although I don't know that I'd believe you because I think you're full of prunes, right? Okay? But if you figured it out, tell me now, how do you live without having to pay rent, buy food, transportation, and was that airfare free that you got up here?
Actually, the airfare was free.
How did you do that?
Points. I used points.
Fly a lot.
Yeah.
Fly a lot, get
Yeah.
points. Use somebody
I got
else's
points.
points.
No, they were my points.
Okay.
But thank you. Thank you, though.
Okay.
Is it really that difficult to believe that
Do you write
somebody-
about anything else other than Scientology?
sometimes?
Because I haven't ever seen anything like a story about how you make a good chocolate cake or something like that, or
No,
how to.
I'm not much of a baker. I've eaten a lot of chocolate cakes, but I'm not
Apparently.
sure that's much of a story. Hey, today I had a chocolate cake. I mean, I'd be writing that story almost every day, probably.
Yes, indeed.
I have. See,
Indeed, you would.
I'm much more full of chocolate
Indeed.
cake than I am of beans. or
Prunes.
prunes rather.
Prunes.
Anyway,
Old prunes bunker.
yeah. Well,
Well, so how have you done it? How have you managed the art of living on
I am
a
an
shoestring?
Emmy-winning journalist. I have worked for more than a decade in TV news. I have won an Emmy for my work.
So what other types of stories do you do? I mean, do you-
The story that I did that won the Emmy was about border issues down in San Diego.
Okay.
And I was doing different stories every day.
so you
for a
so
while,
you lived in San Diego before.
Yeah.
You lived back east. Wasn't even certain
Yeah,
where. Back
I
east
spent
you
a couple of years in Clearwater. At that point, I was being paid by Robert Whitten. A really nice guy, sweet
okay.
guy. We had the Lisa McPherson Trust there.
lived. Right. So did you? So just to help me, because
Yeah.
now I've realized that you've lived in San Diego before. I
Uh-huh.
thought you were from back east. That was where you were from. That was hometown, but obviously it was San Diego. You moved back east. You were in Clearwater. Then you went to New York or Chicago. I'm just asking because I just am now realizing I was wrong about where you were from. So I'm
Right,
just like,
you're making assumptions.
and I'm asking.
Yeah, well,
So-
I mean,
So you
you talk to OSA. They've got a huge file on me, I'm sure, and they'll tell you where I'm from and all this kind
all
of
what
stuff.
you do and,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
so
it's
you were
okay.
telling me about what else you were doing as far as investigative
Well,
reporting.
right now, I'm working on a film about Scientology.
Oh, okay.
It's called Knowledge Report.
I gotcha. And then you have another. You don't have any
You
other
think
projects.
Knowledge Report is a good title for the film?
I wouldn't know because I don't know what you're doing. But is it interviewing other people full of prunes?
Well,
Maybe
in your
it should be
estimation,
called. As in a
I've
knowledge report, it
interviewed-
is I'm guessing report.
I'm interviewing a
I'm
lot
doing
of
the
people.
I'm guessing report by Prunes Bunker. Yes,
I've interviewed
indeed,
a lot
that
of
would
people,
work. That would
like-
work. We could call it that.
Okay.
But I haven't looked it up. But I will now.
I've interviewed like Marty Rathbun and Mike Rinder.
Yeah.
These are top executives in the organization. You're familiar with them, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Have you read any of the stuff?
I'm going to
or
go
seen
over
any
here
of it?
because I'm getting rained on.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Have you read any of Marty Rathbun's blog or Mike Rinder's blog? Or seen them being interviewed? Anything like that?
Yeah, some stuff like that.
Yeah. What do you think about what they have to say?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Just notes.
Really, nothing rings true.
Let me tell you. Too
What
boring.
about the RPF?
Too boring to get to the bottom of the article. To be honest with you, I mean, really, yeah. You're reading along, and then finally you just go, "Gosh, this is, it's more prunes,
Really?
more prunes."
Maybe you should read down to the bottom of the article because maybe there's
can't.
some. Maybe
You just
there-
can't.
I
It's
bet you have an MU.
It's like I'll tell you, it's hogwash.
You've got an
It's
MU is all.
No, it's not. It's baloney.
Look up all the words. Come on.
It's the baloney blog. Just tell them that name it, baloney blog. Oh, okay. Jeez, it's like no good. That's what it is. Does anybody care about that stuff?
Yeah, a lot of people care.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't
think there are a
think
lot of people. A lot of people are fascinated by Scientology. People like me who are never in. I mean, it's really an endlessly fascinating subject,
It's
don't
true.
you
Lots
think?
of people are fascinated by Scientology. It is a fascinating subject, and it actually is a wonderful study. It really is.
Yeah.
And so, that's all I can say about it. We've had a wonderful event here. We've had a wonderful weekend. Our parishioners and staff are happy and proud. And for you, being as I've given you such an entertaining interview, I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, come on. It was fun, wasn't it? Didn't we have a nice time? I mean, you
This
called me
afternoon.
Prune's Bunker and all that. Didn't you have a fun time
I was
talking
actually
with me?
enjoying myself in my seminar in there until
Really?
I had to come out.
What seminar were you doing today?
I was doing a seminar. So anyway, I mean that's So anyway, so you're off to meet some friends you have here in
Now
Portland.
some folks are coming down here. You gotta talk to some
from
folks.
Seattle.
No,
No, down from
no,
Seattle.
they're from here.
Canada.
No.
I'm thinking up. If they're coming down, they're up, right?
I actually don't know what the direction they're
You
coming
don't know
from,
what
but
direction.
They're from Portland.
The sun.
They're from Portland.
They're coming over
Right.
this way,
Yeah.
down 84.
I don't know. I've never met him before. But I said I'd be happy to talk to him.
Huh.
That's all.
I got it. All right.
You might want to talk to him, too.
Who are they? Well, how can
It's
I
a
know if
mystery.
I'd want to
It's
talk
a
to them if
mystery
you don't tell me
sandwich.
who they are?
It's a mystery
You
sandwich.
might want to talk to them too.
It's a
Gwen.
surprise. It's a surprise. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
So they're coming here
Yeah.
to talk to
Talk to
you
me.
about.
Scientology
Okay,
and the ideal order.
I got you.
That's why it's good for me to get information from you. I really appreciate the fact that we had a nice civil conversation. And I'm willing to do that at any time with anyone, And I think that's good. I think communication is the universal solvent, as they say. And the more that we can talk, the greater we can have an understanding of each other. And hash over issues like the RPF. Should people really be put on the RPF, for instance? What do you think?
To be honest with you, Mike, the people that I've talked to that have finished the RPF, when they got off of it, they felt marvelous and rehabilitated spiritually, and that's what that was for. And that's
how long do you
what I
think-
know.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Have you ever been on the RPF?
No.
No. How long have the people you talked to? How long were they on the RPF?
I didn't ask them those questions.
Because I've talked to people who have been on it for years, months and years, and it's just amazing.
Who were those?
You'll find them on the web. Don't worry.
I have to read the prune report, right?
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, that happens. You have to admit that happens.
That was, I don't know. I cannot speak to things. Let me just tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In the Scientology community, we talk. Everybody knows what's going on. We know who got married. We know who's having children. We know who's getting a new house. We know who's moving from Portland to Los Angeles, and so the community talks amongst themselves. And after 37 years in
I would hope so.
Scientology, you hear, what's going on. You think you've got your finger on that pulse of what's going on in Scientology. Never, ever have I heard any of these types of things about the RPF coming from anybody, but I'll tell you, Scientologists talk. So it makes me think that your expose, the prune report, is a series of tall tales that one tells around the campfire when they're bored and there's nothing else going on.
What do you think of disconnection?
That changes and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes along.
It's
You see what I'm
expanding
saying?
like Scientology.
It expands. It expands.
Yeah.
It expands like a loaf of bread.
What do you think about disconnection?
The prune loaf.
Disconnection.
I think that if a person is having a hard time with another person, and they have tried many, many times to remedy that. That if they, on a personal level, feel they need to disconnect, they should have that right.
Well, sure, anyone should have that right not to talk to somebody if they don't want to.
That's
but
true.
How about forced disconnection, where the Scientology will come down on somebody saying, you're connected to an SP, you've got to handle this or disconnect. And there's a lot of pressure.
That is an individual's decision. That is an individual's decision. It cannot be somebody else's decision. It cannot be.
Let me ask you, though.
It can't be your brother's decision. It has to be your decision on that.
If you are told disconnect from this
I'm
person,
getting
or you
rained
will be.
on, Mark.
Me too. It's not as bad as I thought. I brought an umbrella for just such an emergency. I've been here when it's been a downpour. Anyway. Anyway, so if a person is told disconnect from this individual, or you will be also declared an SP, do you think that is a lot of pressure put on them?
Well, I don't think that's how that goes. You
don't think that ever happens?
So let's say you're talking to me,
Yeah.
and you're telling me you're having problems with your ex-wife.
Right.
You've got problems with your ex-wife. She's driving you crazy, blah, blah, blah. It's you've got to go talk to her. You must make this right. Go talk to her. You must make this right. And after, let's say, it's been months or even years of you just finally, I just can't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, what do you want to do? It's up to you. What do you want to do? I would prefer that you continue, even though, you know what I mean, to talk and try to iron it out. But if you tell me I don't want to anymore, I have to respect that. I have to go, okay, fine.
That makes a lot of sense, but I've interviewed a lot of people who have been forced to disconnect. I've met I've interviewed parents who have lost their children, husbands who have lost their wives, and vice versa.
So has it been the other way then in the situation? Has somebody just given up talking to them and said, I just don't want to talk to you anymore? Do you see what I'm saying? Has one or the other has given up at some point talking to the other?
Well,
do you see what I'm saying?
When they write a disconnection letter and say, unless you do A to E and get back into good graces, I will never talk to you again. Those disconnection letters have been written.
I didn't bring a change of clothes to work today, Mark.
Neither did I. But you're looking good.
Prunes Bunker strikes again.
All right. So we will agree to disagree. Good. I wish you the best. I hope you have great success here at the org. I hope your stats are. I hope you're upstat, and that you remain upstat, and that your staff gets paid a proper wage so that they can live. And all the best to you.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you talking to me.
Okay.
And you really appreciate talking to me, don't you? You had fun. Come on, admit it. We're getting rained on, but you had a nice time. You came out here, you thought, here's an evil SP. I'm going to chase him away.
I did not. When I was told there was somebody out here recording, I thought it was just a person recording. I didn't know, right?
But that's it. That's what it is. It's like just a person recording.
It was Mark Prune's Bunker out here harassing and scaring the tar out of the staff and public. You were actually, and see, you're happy. Look at how happy you are when I say that.
I'm amused by this.
It makes you deliriously happy.
Because I'm just a guy taping.
You're not just a guy.
But Scientology was telling the police that I'm a threat. They had to frisk me and search for bombs. They told him that I was throwing things off the roof.
Did you really enjoy it? You enjoyed that a bunch, though, right?
It was kind of fun, because I always love it when Scientology lies to the authorities.
No, I thought
like
you meant
that.
you liked it when they,
When they frisked me?
Yeah.
Woohoo! That wasn't bad, but I don't go that way. Listen, you're looking pretty good to me.
The police were looking.
Prune's Bunker.
All right, Prunes. So, meet your friends.
Okay.
You bringing your friends back?
Bringing my friends back?
To the org?
To what?
To the org? The people you're meeting somebody from somewhere.
I am.
And where you're meeting them, I don't know, and I don't care.
Somewhere out here.
Somewhere.
I'm not exactly sure.
And down at the river in the room.
No, it'll be here. I told them I'm by the org.
So they're coming down here.
Yeah.
And they're gonna. What are they gonna do? What's the
Talk
plan?
to me. And it's okay.
Oh,
We're
it's
just
for
talking.
it's for the prune report. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a nice building.
It's a beautiful building.
I know there's got to be more things that I should be asking you about, but you're getting wet. So.
No. So you must like Portland. You've come back a couple times.
It is nice here. I was thinking about moving here.
Oh, great.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, wouldn't that
Wouldn't
be
you love it?
wonderful? Every month, you and I could sit down and have coffee.
Well,
You could tell me
you know,
outrageous stories, and
maybe-
then
maybe
I could,
You could body route me into the org. You can get me on the cans. You get me in session, and you can repair whatever
I don't
whatever
know.
damage the engrams have done to me.
I really don't think there's an anti-prune rundown.
Oh, come on. You've got to be able to clear off my BTs if you work hard enough.
You're so
Come on. My body thetans are just all... See, those what you think are prunes are really BTs.
Yeah, I think it's prunes.
Prunes.
Dried plums.
Okay.
Prunes.
All right.
Just fruit. In this, just fruit.
I would like
Just
you to
fruit.
think of me as the case that can't be cracked. I would like you to try to get me into Scientology and get me up the bridge and make me an OTA.
I think that once you leave here, I'll forget you exist and I'll go about what I'm doing. You know?
Come on, don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Okay. No. We'll always have Paris or Portland.
Pears?
Pears. Pears,
Oh,
yes. We'll always
Paris.
have pears. All right.
Paris.
It has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I tell you, I'm going to call it off.